Hello, this is the Queen Who cares for you, and we are here today. I'm with my spiritual daughter, Laura Lux. We are going to be talking about some hot topics. We're going to talk about much as we can. We know we're going to have to go into, I got to make her airing out, but we probably be going into a part two, but just stay tuned because we got some nuggets to give you and we are so excited. It was hard for us getting together, but we found it. We've been saying we're going to get together, but you know how life, hey, when you got to be doing your personal things, you marry and you got so much other stuff, you got kids, you got a lot going on. But hey, no matter what, we push our way through at all times and we're going to make it happen because we can't keep our audience waiting. We see the channel is growing and we want to continue to give you that powerhouse nuggets that we got for you. And here's Laura Lutz. I'm going to let her take the mic.
Thank you so much. You already know, Queen T, it's always a pleasure to be on your platform. Guys, thank you so much for always embracing me here. Again, I am Loren Lux. I'm a brand. We make beauties personal. And we also talk about different topics that we feel are relatable to a lot of the things that we see going on right now. And like the Queen has already stated, we do have a limited time tonight. However, we're going to give you guys a part two. So we're going to just jump right into it. The Queen came and said, listen, let's talk about this lady who helped this man escape from prison, all to turn around and not be a woman enough to stand on her own what she did and decides to take her life. So they say, because we don't really know if she took her own life or not. We weren't in the car. It could have been a situation where this man took her life.
Exactly.
This is speculation, but we do know that she did not make it, and they tried to portray her as someone who was living a double life, and that people didn't realize that okay, yeah, she was this one way at work, but she was a whole nother person outside of work. And I say this, we live in a world where pretty much anything goes.
Exactly.
Okay. We live in a world where social media is the new form of communication. If people don't realize that our first known communication style was verbal communication, actually being face to face and having human interaction. And the fact that we have fantasized and glorified some of the most hideous things in our culture, so they call it culture, but is it really a culture? Because I wouldn't want to be a part of a culture that acts this way.
Exactly.
Okay. Does it really show you what people are being exposed to? What would convince this woman that a man that's standing at 6'9"
exactly
would be worth her career and her life?
Exactly.
You got to think about the depths of that. That is not a normal operating functional brain.
Yes.
Because nobody in their right mind would think to themselves, let me make a person who is in jail for murder. Let's not forget that.
Exactly.
What are you in jail for, sir? Oh, I killed a few people. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you get out.
Sound like mental illness to me.
And I'm not making fun of her.
Right,
I'm
right.
just trying to make light to a heavy situation. Because you got to laugh in life in order to, you have to have a sense of humor in order to live life. But let's be for real, y'all. Let's take a big look at the picture. What would convince somebody in their mind if they were not suffering, like the Queen has stated, from mental health issues? So she conspires with this man to get him released, all to drive 2 or 3 hours away from where she was with him. Does that make any sense? Like, if she was really on the run, why didn't she immediately change her name and go to Guam?
Exactly.
Why did she go 3 hours? That's like you going and letting a convict out of jail, Queen, and then you and him travel to Lithonia. Like, what sense would it
Exactly.
in Georgia? Like, what if you were gonna get away? You should have had an elaborate plan. You should have had people who could have lined you up to get y'all out of the states. Okay, if it was, but you knew that wasn't even possible. So the fact that you even allowed him to manipulate you It just shows how weak people really are. And it just goes to show you why these platforms are super important for people to hear.
That's true.
Because you need to know and be aware of the dangers. That was a pure danger that woman put herself in. And look what she ended up doing, y'all. She ended up taking her own life, so they say. That's allegedly.
Right,
That's
exactly.
Because we weren't there. We're going based off what the news tells us. And you know nowadays the news will tell you anything.
And you know
what we hear in the news is misinformed.
And another thing, if she should have had that well planned where you could have drove somewhere 20 minutes or something, and a private plane should have been picking you up and taking you to another darn country.
But, I mean, let me be honest with you, Queen. If I'm going to help a man get out of prison, he's not going to be 6'9", okay? I'm going to need to find a midget. Because, you know what I'm saying? Who in their right mind don't think you ain't going to see this big old man?
That's tall. That is really tall.
Yeah, I mean, 6'9", he's not average height.
Wow.
Okay? I mean, and again, think about the depths of what she did.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of example is she setting for other correctional officers? What kind of example is she setting for the actual facility that they were in? Because that was really some terrible stuff right there. To see this man a murderer just walk out like it's nothing.
Exactly. And she was a correctional officer for 17 years, and she was getting ready to retire. That right there was mind blowing. I mean, you throwed away all retirement money, you sold your house just to end up killing yourself. Like you say, so they say.
Because, like, that was like that. And my thing is this. Let's say, for instance, that she did take her own life. I can understand why she did.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it, you guys. How are you? She couldn't even be woman enough to stand on her own 2 feet after they would have caught her. Because they caught him. So he ain't dead. He's just going back to jail. But now your family is devastated because now they realize that you've been, and I tell you like this, I believe that a lot of these women, you see it on the TV now, a lot of women are getting scammed by men that live out of other countries,
right,
trying to coerce them to be married.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love you, blah, 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 blah. And the whole time, they're just trying to scam American women. You see that happen all the time.
Right.
You see people, because I've even seen documentaries where women actually, how can I say it? They actually fall in love with the inmates.
Exactly. I can't understand that. What do these inmates have over you all just to put a spell on y'all, make y'all just walk around and just want to be with inmates when you on the outside and you can just have whatever selection the men you want, but you just choose to have an inmate. I don't understand that.
And see, they wouldn't like me because I would say lock her up too because she a threat to society. See, somebody who thinks like that, I would have a lot of prisons because you could get locked up for something being what they say as the Queen refers to as a dumb bunny. We can make money off that, Queen T. We could open up a facility where if you're a dumb bunny, you got to get locked up.
Dumb bunny. She was the dumb bunny that at its finest. She was the dumb bunny. She earned her doctorates in dumb bunny.
She was a doctor in being a dumb bunny.
Oh my God. That's a prime example of a dumb bunny. I mean, when I tell you, I got to make up a dance, a dumb bunny dance, a dumb bunny app, mobile app. I mean, I really got to work on that because, as I said in my previous video, it don't make no sense. And you know what's sad to say? There's so many other ones out here just like that. She ain't the first one.
She ain't going to be the last.
And she ain't going to be the last.
You would think that people will watch that on the news and be like, you know what? I better not do that. You know what? I better not do that. You know, I better try to do something different. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to do the same thing. You listen, if this man who's a full-grown man was able to get into a prison and impregnate 2 female inmates, one of them is serving life and the other one is getting out in 5 years and he don't get out until 2037.
Oh my goodness.
Because he dressed up as a transgender and they put him in a female prison, even though he had male parts. And
Wow.
I'm not by any means trying to ridicule the LGBTQ plus and all of that community by no
Right.
means. But right
Hmm.
is right and wrong is wrong. He was a
Exactly.
man and he had man body parts. If he had man body parts, he had no reason and no right to be placed into a female facility.
Right. That's true. Hmm.
That was wrong on
Hmm.
every level. You cannot do that. And so, because that was done, in my mind, I'm just like, okay, a lot of this stuff be inside jobs, and we have so many people who are locked up that are corrupt, but we have just as many people who are free in that environment who are just as equally guilty of crimes as well.
That's true.
Because that
Hmm.
woman put people's lives at risk for her own pleasure.
Hmm.
She's a murderer.
Hmm. And it could have been a
She's
lot
not.
worse. It could have been a lot worse. But and lucky it did. Lucky they caught him when they did. Found that what they doing at a car wash. I mean, y'all literally, uh, she planned the whole thing. He had nothing to do with it because he couldn't only do so much. He in prison, so he couldn't do nothing.
Right. What can he really do?
Yeah, so she was the brain behind everything. You just plan, and you ain't had no good plan, sought nothing. How you? That just goes to show you how dumb she was.
And just like I said before, when we spoke in a previous podcast, you guys, stop trying to make me pretend like y'all can't Google how to be smart. You can Google right now how to get away with a crime. You could, and I'm not saying that again, another disclaimer. I'm not saying I want y'all to go out here and Google this stuff, but stop playing with yourselves. Y'all see all these crime shows, 24, 48 hours. They show y'all how to get away with stuff. That woman was the definition of what we're going to say for the day. Womp womp, a dumb bunny. God
Exactly.
rest her soul. But that was the dumbest thing you could have ever did. Why would you sell your house? You about to retire. And this is my thing. You a grown woman, ma'am.
A
I can see
grown.
if you was in 18, 19. Okay, you know what? You young. Your brain hasn't developed that much. But for you to have been in this system for that long, how would you have even, what you thought you were just going to magically go to another beautiful island with this 6'9" murderer? Like,
Exactly.
what were you thinking? And like, I mean, the depths of it is just insane. It's in freaking sane. Excuse me for using that word, but it is just insane because I ain't never seen the craziest stuff that I've been seeing lately on my feet. Like, I'm just in shock. Like, you guys, and I'm not saying our audience because I know our audience are, we're deep divers and we're amazing people. We want to give good. We're conduits of love and
Hmm.
respect. But when
Right.
I look at some of the others,
Hmm.
wow,
Hmm.
wow, wow. I'm just so happy that the ancestors protect me and the ones that I love and, show us and we look for them for guidance. Because if you don't have that in your life, you will do exactly what you see these people doing. And please save yourselves, save your families. Think about the things that people are going to feel long after you get caught doing this senseless crime or this dumb activity. It is way more things to do in life than the things that we see some of the people in front of us doing.
Right. Exactly. Hmm.
You know,
Hmm. It just don't make no sense. I mean, for you think a woman of her age rank, 56 years old, would know better, and by her being a correctional officer for 17 years, I know she done seen a lot of inmate coming there running game on women and all this kind of stuff, and to find yourself in a situation like that, she should have never found herself. She's one elder to be looked upon as having wisdom and guiding the young ones. That correctional officer that come in there and say, okay, you got these inmates, they're gonna try to run game, they're gonna try to make you fall in love. You shouldn't even be taken for a ride like that at your age. But that just goes to show you, wisdom don't come with age.
ooh, no, you got to say that again, please. Repeat.
Wisdom do not come with age.
Now y'all heard it hot off the press. The queen came out y'all coming in hot. If y'all didn't write that down, then I don't know what to tell you because it ain't you. And when we gonna have this on record, you can go back and you can listen to this again. But
Exactly.
if that didn't just hit the head on the nail, I don't know that you just threw it out the ballpark. We don't even gotta say nothing else for the rest of the day. I mean, if you want to go there with it, because that right there, you know how they say a word, a few little words to say a that.
Exactly.
If you
Exactly.
didn't hear what she said, let me help it reiterate for the young ones that don't maybe get what was just said to you
Right.
guys. You know, I mean, I just
It,
don't know
and
what to
it's
say.
a
You guys
and
are
it's a
telling us.
darn shame to be an old damn fool.
I mean, and this is what really shocked me was because when I seen the tapes when they played back, because you remember in the beginning of it, they were saying they were on the run, they were
Right,
looking for
right.
them, they didn't know where they
Mhm.
were, right?
Mhm.
Then they fast forward a bit and they said, okay, well now, they're still on the run. We don't know if she's alive. The family's begging her to come forward. Blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
Then they released that you know, they had the tapes of her actually getting him out. So
Mhm.
they run back the footage of them coming down the hallway. She opened up the door. They got in the squad car together.
Mhm.
And then that's when they kind of lose all, I guess, sighting of them for a
Right.
few days.
Right.
But
Mhm.
my thing is, like I said, who's to say that that woman really killed herself? We don't know. And,
Exactly.
and here's the other thing: who's to say that she wasn't being threatened? Because somebody did make a point to say, which I did take into consideration. They were saying they don't really know. At one point, they were saying they don't know if she was taken voluntarily. They were thinking that maybe somebody took her and against her will. But
Mm.
then at some point, I guess when people started realizing that, oh, she got her house for sale, she's retired, then they started saying, well, maybe she was in some type of relationship with him. But I never seen any solid evidence to really say, hey, she actually was, taking, she actually took in her initiative to go on her own, her own accord. I didn't never see, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see how no, we didn't have any audio. We
Right.
don't know what he was saying to her. You see him telling her to open the door and this, that, and the third, but how do we not know he's saying, I'm gonna kill you? I'm gonna
Ex-
stab you. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna kill your mother. You don't know if that's what he could have been doing. All of those things.
mhm.
He could have been telling her, "This is what you're gonna do." We don't know. And we don't know if she necessarily shot herself or he shot herself. But or he shot her. I'm sorry. But they did say that they were able to get her to the hospital where she succumbed to her injuries at the hospital from a self-inflicted gun wound.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, look at that. She couldn't even stand what she did. So why did you do it?
It
I mean,
all that was just
you
done
doing it
in vain.
wrong.
It was just done. It was a that just what you call one big hunk of mess.
That was a waste of police force.
It was. It
Somebody that
was.
really need help and that's really getting robbed and killed. And y'all out here playing darn, escaping and falling madly in love at a car wash. And that's why I said, and my thing is, him being a criminal, why wasn't he smarter? Why didn't he tell her, girl, I ain't about to be out here in no gas station. I'm 6'9". They gonna notice me. I need to be in the hiding some damn where. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, how
Mhm.
come he a damn criminal? They say criminals are smart, but just like you said, wisdom do not have anything to do with age.
No, it don't. It does not. It does not. And a lot
Because
of
he was
people.
a seasoned criminal.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
how you telling me he a seasoned criminal and he allowed her to convince him to go to the car wash and he's 6'9"? Come on, Miss Tom, you gonna stand out like a sore thumb.
So yeah, they said that he. I read what the article that said that he was at the hotel, but he was like nowhere to be found or something. But they say she didn't even use her ID to sign in for the hotel. I think they say it was a third party. Somebody else was helping them because she say she did. They say she didn't have any ID or something. So basically, she didn't want to be attached to booking a room or anything. So maybe it was a third party. But whoever that third party, they dumb too, because they're gonna be they're gonna be drawn right in. They that was accessory to the crime.
And they didn't even know. Here it is. And now you know what's funny? You know how like when you were younger,
Mm-hmm.
you would hear the mature family members say, "Oh, I ain't putting no hotel in my name for these kids," and
Right,
"Well, I'm not putting
exactly,
a
and that's
car in my
why
name." This is exactly
a
what it
prime
is.
example of why you wouldn't do something like
Because
that. Mm-hmm.
you could call, we could say, hey, Tom could call me and say, hey, Tanya, Jessica, I need to get a hotel. Oh, you know what? It's our cousin. He in town. Let's help him out. Get the whole. and he invite a couple people over and somebody gets shot or this or that, now we're going to be implicated in the darn murder.
Exactly.
Because we been trying to help somebody unknowingly. But that
Ex-
goes to show you why you need to know your circle. Because
exactly.
I don't even want to be friends with nobody who would even put me in a position like that.
And you know
You know
what?
what I'm saying?
That just like when I was doing security before I left to go to New Mexico. This lady, she was the supervisor on the receiving dock on the weekend, and they called her going upstairs because we was working at an office building. They called her and they had all kind of different different like restaurants, lawyer's office, doctor's office on the floors in the building. She went up to some restaurant and stole by like $5,000 worth of alcohol. And now mind me, you work at a sheriff's office, and you're I think she's a correctional officer, and got caught. They seen her on the camera, going down there, had a bag like she was taking out garbage.
She had a whole elaborate plan.
Oh my God! I say, and the ones that work in the law enforcement, them the crookedest one. I mean, come on now. You should have known better. And she didn't think that it was a camera that they had. But guess what? They had their own camera. They had their own personal camera. This particular restaurant, so they seen everything, and they hauled her behind out of there. And then the account manager, he had to come with the alcohol and replace all of it and take it back up there. I said, "Oh my God, why would you come to work and steal some darn and steal people liquor and go on the floor?" I said, "Now that's a darn shame." And she's a correction officer. She work at the sheriff office.
Now
Mm-hmm.
look at that. But and I'll say like this, guys, because I mean, what we do, we keep it 100 with y'all, completely
Yes, we
transparent.
do. Yes, we do.
And one thing I have learned, and I know the queen can vouch for me with this, is this. You're going to only be so much, especially depending on your leadership, who your higher up is. And a lot of the times when you see these little corrupted things going on in these facilities, a lot of the times, 9 times out of 10, it's their leadership and their management is doing the same thing, if not worse.
That's true. That's
So
true.
people will only do what they see other people doing. So if I come to Queen T, if I come to a Queen Who Cares, and I see when I come in her facility, she is running things appropriately. She is, doing everything by the books. She is good. I'm going to have a certain level of respect for the queen. If I come into a Queen Who Cares and I see you laundering money, I see people just going in the drawer, I see people in and out of her office. You get what I'm saying? You're going to start picking up on little things. You're going to start noticing. And let's not lie, sometimes when you have people in situations, in organizations, they will work together.
That's true. That is so
Like
true.
for example, let's say me and you, we work in a beauty salon, but we know that the girl who worked at the shop, who's the manager, her boyfriend's a drug dealer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you automatically, what do we know? We know he giving her the money to come over here and open up the shop. Cause how else is she getting the money, right?
That's true.
So
That's
now
true.
we seeing people at the shop stealing money, or we see people, we gonna work together. Hey, what's up? You see them doing such and such. You want to be down? You want to make a few extra dollars, but we can't say nothing. It gotta be quiet. You know what I'm saying? People will work together, and that's how you'll start seeing. Because when you see a person that bold, it's like what would possess a person to go and steal $5,000 worth of liquor at her job that she know got cameras. Like that's how you know you didn't even seen somebody else do this, or you just batshit crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's no in between. It's no in between. Just like I had a conversation with somebody not too long ago, and I was telling them when I used to work for the federal bank, you know, it was an honor for me to be able to work at a bank. I didn't
Right.
want to take that for granted, so I worked my tail off. And it was a girl who worked with me. She was a teller as well. She was a full-time teller. She wound up stealing like $50,000.
Oh my goodness.
And the way she would do it is, say for instance, you come up to me and you ask me for a withdrawal. I take money out, give you what I want to give you, and pocket what I want to pocket from your account.
Mm-hmm.
Close the register, take the cash. And she had dug into this one man who had so many accounts with all these millions of dollars. And how she got busted is because a year later, when he had to file his taxes, you have to file your taxes on your money that's in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
and he was missing $50,000, and he was trying to figure out where was it because he knew he didn't touch it, and that's how they uncovered her on the cameras stealing the money. What, like, what would possess you to be on camera and still continue to steal? Like, I just don't. Like, if I know that, if I know that I'm being watched every day and I'm at my position and I know it's a camera, I'm not gonna steal. I mean, Queen T, I mean, you might as well just be an honest,
Right.
straightforward person
Right.
because eventually they're gonna catch you. And this is
Exactly.
why I didn't understand what this chick did with this murderer dude, because you knew that they were going to see those cameras eventually. You knew that you would get away with how, and I'm pretty sure the only reason why she was able to get him out is because of her seniority. If she
Exactly.
was there for 17 years, she wasn't just a correctional officer. She was probably head in charge.
They
So
really,
again, what does
yeah,
that tell you?
they
Her
already said.
leadership.
They said they thought she was reliable. They can trust her. You know,
Exactly.
everybody respected her. She was, she was really looked upon as somebody that, hey, knew her job, can be trusted, and was worthy of, taking care of the inmates and the people that worked there and everything.
It's okay. So then that shows you right there. So again, what was she seeing from her leadership? What was
Mm-hmm.
she seeing from her management? Was
Mm-hmm.
she seeing something similar? I'm watching a story right now called Candy.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady, it's based on a true story. It happened in 1980. A lady was not fulfilled in her relationship, so she made up an elaborate plan to find a man to have an affair with, even though she was married. And what she did, she got the idea from her pastor. Her pastor was what? Who she was leadership to. That was her who she looked up to. And
Mm-hmm.
what she did was her pastor decided she was going to divorce her man, divorce her husband, and started seeing another man.
Mm-hmm.
And it made the women in her congregation, some of them who were having issues, it made them vulnerable, Queen T. You understand where I'm going with this?
Right, right.
That was her leadership. That was her. You right now, you are a beautiful ancestor that has been placed upon us. So we have to be thankful for you. Could
Mm-hmm.
you imagine if you was different and you was on, like, let's say for instance you wasn't even preaching like this. Let's say for instance you was drinking 40s, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, having relations with all the old men. You got to think
Right,
about that because there's some women out here that are doing that right now.
right, right,
On drugs, living in a tent. You got people who living in a tent having babies.
right. That's true. That's true.
How
Mm-hmm.
are you living in a tent on a sidewalk on a hard concrete floor having sex? Somebody tell me. Make it make sense.
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
Like you tell me all the time, we got to do better, y'all.
Yeah,
We got to do better.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that we have to do better, and we have to because, I mean, it's stuff like this we have to bring out because this is what this channel is all about. Like I say, I have experienced a lot of, I went through a lot of things in my life, and this is what I'm using my platform to share my experience so it can help others not to make the same mistake, to share my video with others who, might be going through different situations and maybe yourself as well. But we have, whatever it is, whatever we bring to you guys, we always gonna keep it real, and give it to you raw and uncut because y'all need it. It's so much need to be discussed because everything, like I said, a lot of YouTubers they just talk about one thing, but I talk about everything that goes on in my life. I see out when I'm out and about, and I say, "Ooh, this is something that really need to be talked about." Even like the day when I was at the gym, I'm looking at these young girls, they exercising with these. I don't see how they exercise with them shorts all in their crack. I said, I'm sure when they take off, that's some shit in there.
listen, some, some sweat, some
Oh my God.
irritation.
I'm like, why would you come to the gym like that? And you know what? It's dangerous. You don't know who watching you, who's stalking you, who you don't know. You setting yourself up for pure danger. You really, and you're not even much aware of it because you ain't got no business coming in the gym like that. I mean, when I'm talking about they just do coochie cutters, that's what they was in there working at, and that ain't much shit. You shouldn't even be allowed to come in the gym like that at all. But
I'm saying.
these
This
the
is what I'm
thing,
saying.
and that's what I just made a previous video about. Put on some darn clothes. Dress appropriate. You can have cute stuff, and you ain't got to be showing every crack and corner of your body. You know,
When
you
we were growing up, sexy was having clothes on.
yes.
It wasn't basically walking outside with your birthday suit. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
basically what a lot of you young ladies are doing. And I understand, you think it's sexy. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I love fashion, and a lot of the stuff is sexy. It's
Mm-hmm.
very sexy. It's very beautiful. I agree with you. It looks very nice. However, it's not the look. Okay, what we should be focusing on is putting more on and using those opportunities to wear those outfits for our insignificant other or our husband or our wife. That's the times when you want to look sexy. Hey, wear that when you go out with your man, so that way you're protected. Don't wear it when he's not with you and you just trying to flaunt because you just want to show off. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm a woman, and when I see other beautiful women, I'm looking. So I
Mm-hmm.
know if I'm looking at y'all, men is gonna look. But see,
Right.
I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I just enjoy when I see pretty things.
Right.
So I don't care what
Exactly.
it is. It could be a person, a pocketbook, shoes, nails. I just love beautiful things.
Right.
So for me, it comes natural. But I'm not out here trying to hurt you. I'm not going to say, "Ooh, Queen T got that nice big diamond. Let me rob her." I'm going to just tell her diamond is beautiful.
Right.
So you have some people who are going to look at you and say, "Oh, she got on that sexy outfit. I'm going to rape her, or I'm going to rob her, or I'm going to assault her or kill her, because that's a possibility every day now. That's the
Mm-hmm.
new normal.
Right.
So just keep in mind that being sexy comes in many different forms. It doesn't have to mean one thing. And also to respect yourself. There's nothing wrong with having on something sexy, but what we're saying is put some more material to it,
Yeah.
sweetheart. I mean, you're
Right.
missing some material. Y'all
Exactly.
paying all this money for these cheap clothes, and y'all ain't even getting the darn half the material that you owe. The other half of the dress is somewhere in another state. So
Exactly.
just be mindful that when our ancestors were growing up, our ancestors took pride in wearing suits and wearing dresses, pearls, hair done, nails done. They did not walk around with their pants hanging down to their knees. They didn't walk around with Daisy Dukes up their tail, their boobs hanging out. No, the women wore